I want to make a couple observations and see where the committee is headed here and sort of build on what Senator Blackburn said. So yesterday, out of the blue, I was asked about a comment Senator Durbin made, the chairman. I want to continue blue slips with one caveat. I won't honor a blue slip that I believe discriminates because of race, gender, or sexual discrimination. So we'll see how this develops. Mr. Chairman, I don't know how you would apply such a standard to our colleagues here. I can assure you, based on my relationship with the members on this side of the committee, that we have a history of voting for people of different, men, women, openly gay people that were nominated by President Trump. So that standard, I don't know how you would impose it. And it takes the committee in a really dangerous place, I think, for us to basically question the motives of our fellow senators and at being the reason to dishonor the blue slip. When I was chairman, we never filled a vacancy in New Jersey, Massachusetts, or Washington State during the Trump years at all. And I was constantly pushed by the White House and others to disregard the blue slip process in those states. I chose not to. Now, the consultation process has been woefully inadequate, I think, as a reason to change the blue slip process because the administration, the Biden administration, went to blue states, the low-hanging fruit, and confirmed a lot of federal district judges. I think Trump did that. That makes eminent sense to me. Now we're in a situation where there are vacancies in red states, and Senator Cornyn mentioned something about the White House counsel. I wouldn't know them if they walked in the room. I don't think I've ever talked to them. If I have, I don't remember. It wasn't a meaningful discussion, and I'm the ranking member. So one thing you'll get from us is a willingness to consult, but it's gotta be a two-way street. So the bottom line here is for well over 100 years, it's been the practice of this committee to honor blue slips at the district court level. And I think that's a good practice, and let me tell you why. It helped me with the Trump administration. They were pushing people to nominate that I didn't want. And I think some of you will have a say with the Biden administration, as long as that policy's in place. It empowers state senators from a state where the district judge will rule for the rest of their life, a say in that moment to your own party and particularly to the other party. So I just hope we will not go down that road. I hope we will honor the blue slip process. I can assure you that our people will work with you the best we can, and sometimes we may just not be able to find agreement. But the idea of honoring the blue slip as long as you believe people are not discriminating, that's just very uncomfortable for me. And I would never do that because I don't want to suggest that I think any of you here would be stopping somebody because of those reasons. And finally, about the U.S. Attorney. The Tennessee situation is problematic in this regard. Once we do have a consultation between the White House of one party and senators of another, and we find a choice that everybody agrees upon, for that choice to be denied to go forward because another senator on the committee objects to that choice, you can always vote no. But what happened here to Senator Blackburn is that the consultation process was vetoed by a member of the committee. That will lead to chaos. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, as individual senators, really the last vestige of institutional power here lies with the blue slip process at the district court level. And I think it is a tool worth keeping for the body. I think it is, our voices need to be heard not only by the opposite party, but our own party. And Mr. Chairman, it can be frustrating not getting what you want as chairman. I promise you it can be. But what's more frustrating, I think, is to see the Senate become the House. And that's where we're headed. Everybody on the other side voted to do away with the legislative filibuster. This is where we're headed. It is not good for the future of the judiciary because imagine the following. A president of one party and a Senate of another. If this war continues the way it's going, you could go 4 years and never get a judge nominee, because there's always a reason for one side to oppose the other. Everybody I vote for, and I vote for most everybody you send over, I wouldn't have picked any of them. But I realize elections have consequences. Sometimes I'm the lone Republican, and I'm okay with that. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to honor the process, that the golden rule. When I and Senator Scott can find somebody working with the White House in power to make a district court judge, I hope you'd honor our work. That's why I vote for district court judges that I wouldn't have picked otherwise. Now, there's sometimes people are not qualified, I guess. There's always a reason to vote no. But the bottom line here is the system that's served the country for over 100 years is very much at stake and at risk here. And what I fear is that we're going to get the judge wars to the point that if you have a majority in the Senate of one party and president of another, you're going to wind up not picking anybody. And that would be a shame. And the biggest loser in all this is the judiciary. You know, when Senator Reid decided to do away with the 60-vote requirement for circuit judges, I went on the floor and said, this is the beginning end of the Senate as we know it. And it's also the beginning of the ideological radicalization of the judiciary, because when you don't need to talk to anybody on the other side, your judge picks are going to be more ideological. You can see that on both sides. Then along comes the blue slip problem with circuit judges. Senator McConnell said in October of 2017, now that it's a majority-only rule, we won't honor blue slips on circuit judges. We tried to get Gorsuch through twice, but he could never get 60 votes, so we wound up changing the rules for majority-only for the Supreme Court. The bottom line here is the last thing left in this body that makes the Senate, in my view, to give individual senators a say about a consequential decision in their state that will last a lifetime, is the blue slip process. So I would just hope we could agree, if possible, that no matter how frustrated we get, we're going to honor this system. And it does take collaboration and cooperation on our side. I expect that to happen, but that's a two-way street. In Louisiana, there's collaboration that's been successful. There's been letters written that nobody replied to for 6 months. Why? Because the White House went to the blue states to get the low-hanging fruit. And in Texas, there has been very little effort here. So that's what I would urge the committee to do. Senator Welch, welcome. You come at a historic time. The idea that we would do away with the blue slip is bad for the Senate, it's bad for the judiciary, and the idea that a chairman would make a decision about the motives of others based on why they're having the blue slip, I think is a dangerous thing to be doing. I like you, I respect you, I want to work with you, I want to pass bills on fentanyl, I want to do stuff on social media, I want to try to work together the best we can. I voted for most of your judges. It's my small contribution to the legacy of the Senate. So please, if you can, Mr. Chairman, stop this march toward ending the blue slip for district court judges.